2025 is shaping up to be a great year for Elite Dangerous and Elite Dangerous commanders. Frontier announced in their February 2025 Frontier Unlocked livestream that Elite Dangerous in 2025 will be segmented into 6 phases. Now, these 6 phases, we're well on the way through 4 of those already, being at the Vanguards update, with a Prospector on the horizon, and more. Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. As I said in the intro, 6 phases, theoretically, where we've had Trailblazers, we've had the Corsair, we've had Vanguards. We know we got the Prospector on the horizons, and then in winter, they say a final new ship and a brand new feature. What's that new feature going to be? Well, as roadmaps go, it's not a bad old roadmap. And Frontier Developments have put this cadence in place, promising this steady stream of content to keep commanders engaged all year long. And engaged I think we have been. Frontier's roadmap does indeed paint an ambitious year. Trailblazers. Every new ship from the Corsair to the yet to be revealed will breathe new tactical potential into the game. Vanguards. Love it or hate it, think it's too expensive, or is it just the thing people were looking for? That's up to you. And then the ambiguous reveal for the end of year major feature update has speculation running wild. Let's take a look at Trailblazers. This kick-off 2025 update introduced the centerpiece of the roadmap, in my opinion, system colonization. And that has been a bit of a success. What do I mean by that? Well, now we got the Panther Clipper, it's more of a raging success than what it has been in the past. People are out there hauling massive amounts of material to create their star bases and also starports, other facilities and also ground bases. This, in my opinion, represented a massive shift in gameplay for Elite Dangerous and Elite Dangerous commanders. Players can now actively claim uninhabited star systems, erect stations and forge entirely new settlements and economies within the bubble. And that bubble is expanding. That depth of gameplay where colonization is very sort of process rich with decisions. What system are you going to select? What station type are you going to put in it? What about resources? How are you going to name it? What are you going to call your stations? Are you going to pay or just have the freebies? Of course, there's an ARX cost along that, and there was quite a lot of community buzz. Reddit and a lot of other sites turned around and said, this frontline enthusiasm by players for system colonization has taken the form of a land rush, akin to like what happened in America back in the day, with discussions around what materials and tuning of the system was actually going to be happening within the system that you claimed. Trailblazers isn't just an update, it's a massive shift of gameplay. Elite commanders are not just exploring the bubble and expanding it, they're staking a claim, building infrastructure, defining economies, and basically defining whether or not the sector that they've now populated is going to live or wither. Now, April 2025 saw the release of the Gutamaya Corsair. Yes, a medium-sized multi-role vessel. I think it's a mugger's ship, a pirate ship, something that's really going to do damage to somebody. Quite good cargo space, a robust weapon hardpoint layout, and notably the first in its class to support size 7 thrusters. Impact to the game was quite poignant, I would say. The Corsair is positioned to be a jack of all trades, capable of trading, cargo hauling and a bit of combat, potentially overshadowing ships like the Python Mk II, released in 2024, and also the Crate Mk II, that was released quite a while back, depending on outfitting, of course. A lot of noise was made about the convergence of the hardpoints for this ship, aiming it particularly towards that of combat. Thin, sleek, typically Imperial flair, Gutamaya being the choice manufacturer of the Imperial ships that are hidden behind rank. This is not hidden behind rank. and it promised to be a versatile workhorse for either people mugging off other traders, going into combat, or looking for a good workhorse that had a pretty decent jump range. Typically, it's an all-in-one ship, and I'm impressed. Now, with Elite Dangerous Vanguard supposedly being the next item on the roadmap, there was a bit of a delay. That then pushed the Panther Clipper to the forefront of its release date. Few ships in Elite Dangerous carry that same weight of expectation as the Panther Clipper Mk II had been. Speculation was rife, poignant images, what could this be? We all knew it was. It was a huge ship, it was a large ship. For years it was a ghost in the game's lore, a name that lived on from classic Frontier Elite 2 and First Encounters. Vessel. A vessel that was synonymous with heavy calling capacity. Anyway, so 2025 the Panther Clipper Mk II turned up, and it's a logistics meta in the game. Whereas the Type 9 Heavy once stood as one of the workhorses for bulk hauling, along with the Gutamaya cutter, has to be said, the Imperial cutter, that kind of like gave it all, whereas the Type 9 struggled a little bit, the Panther Clipper does really obscure it. I wouldn't say eclipses it, but really obscures it. With modular racks exceeding anything that we've seen before in game, its cargo ceiling really did push the boundary of what commanders could singly haul in one shift, in one jump. Much like the old Type 10 Defender, it comes with an array of hardpoints, although most commanders will fit it with defensive loadouts. It's about the cargo, really, it really is. Community goals turned up and offered additional specialised cargo racks to add in addition to the Class 8 and Class 7 Class D cargo racks that really had extended carrying capacity. That Panther Clipper was more than just a ship. It was a statement by Frontier that Elite Dangerous is expanding, not just outward, but also upward, playing into the Trailblazers' expansion of economies and systems. Now, it's not everybody's dream ride or everyone's dream cup of tea, but for those people who have got to load an awful lot of stuff from point A to point B, it's the key ship, perhaps even the Holy Grail, and it's potentially can only get better. Then, hot on the heels of the Panther Clipper came Elite Dangerous Vanguards, or Squadrons 2.0. For years, Elite Dangerous had been described as a game that's better with friends, but ironically, it always helped when you played with friends, right? And that's the thing with this, it needed a good clan, a guild system. Now, while Squadrons was introduced back in 2018, that gave commanders basically a banner to fly under, its functionality was always shallow. Really shallow. But now in 2025, Frontier is doubling down on the social layer with Vanguards, a feature that could finally make collective play meaningful. Vanguards is pitched as a rework and expansion of original Squadrons. Think of it as Squadrons 2.0, where Squadrons was essentially a guild light version. Vanguards going to be guild heavy, so they say. At its core, Vanguards will allow you to create or join structured groups with richer customizations, logos, mottos, squadron fleet carriers, banks, the ability to share unengineered ships and modules. You can set objectives. Leaders can assign those squad level missions, goals or waypoints for members, share those resources, coordinate colonization with extended ability to haul more product in the squadron fleet carrier, and also compete at scale, new leaderboards, recognition systems, and hopefully in the future, perhaps a Vanguard v Vanguard challenge. Wouldn't that be something? But Elite Dangerous is indeed famous for its lone wolf aspect of things. Forge your own path. But now, this makes it home to a sprawling community. A bit like the Fuel Rats, Cannon Research, Hutton Truckers, AXI, to name but a few. It gives you an official platform in the game as well. And it also means that Frontier is acknowledging that player communities are the real content engine of Elite Dangerous and giving them the in-game tools to really thrive. Now the third ship of 2025 for the Elite Dangerous roadmap is the Type-11 Prospector. Yes, a Type-11. What's next? A Type 22? Type 66? Where can we possibly go with this? Well, the Type-11 Prospector is a dedicated, and perhaps the first dedicated ship we've got in-game, to mining. or dedicated to anything. Typically ships have been a jack of all trades, do what you want with them. This, dedicated mining ship. A ship with an off-centre cockpit, lots of nacelles, some things have been drawn from other Lacon type ships. Lacon does like this as well, but you can see the art department have gone a completely different way with this one. The Type-11 Prospector introduces a brand new mining weapon fitted into a specialised hardpoint adjacent to the cockpit, something no other ship so far has in-game. The developers hint that this module will enable a different type of mining, though they're keeping the specifics under wrap. Due for release in the autumn, the Type-11 Prospector is a key thing in the roadmap and has the forums abuzz. People are indeed liking that rugged aesthetic, likening it to a rugged utility vehicle. If that was in yellow, you'd be saying JCB all day long. Practical, gritty, refreshingly purpose-driven, and some would say they're expressing some cautious optimism on how this can refresh the mining meta in Elite Dangerous. That then potentially leaves a final ship towards the end of the year and a shrouded in mystery other item, other gameplay. Ships are all well and good. Gameplay is what we want, Frontier. Bit of gameplay. People are going to be bringing up the old, oh, we want space legs. People are going to say, oh, I want to walk around my ship. All that sort of stuff. We want ship interiors. Well, you know, only Frontier knows, and who knows what we're going to get. My bet is going to be something Trailblazer related, but we're going to have to wait and see. I've been Ricardo, and this is a look at the Elite Dangerous 2025 roadmap so far, as of, well, we're knocking on the door at the end of August now, 2025. Let's see what comes up next.